Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru set up the National Book Trust as an autonomous organization like the Lalit Kala Academy. National Book Trust was set up as an autonomous institution so that it could carry the message of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru to the youth of our country. Namely, get inspiration from what he wrote and give inspiration to the future authors who would inspire our young in the years to come. And that's what the National Book Trust is doing by holding events like that and by having a man as renowned as Dr. Bipin Chandra to head such an organization. The second issue, and I think which is more important, is that technology is overtaking the habit of our children to read. The electronic industry, television, the communications revolution is taking place, and children are moving away from having the habit to sit down in the evening and read a book. They'd rather watch television. And with e-books, which is a new fad, I'm afraid many young men and women will not even buy books. They will have the novel, whether fact or fiction, on the computer, and they will be reading it on their flight or as they go from one place to another. And I think that's really not the way that we want India to go and the way our youth to go. I personally cannot I have a habit personally to go to a bookshop every month and sit there, just soothe myself, imbibe my environment, and look at all the titles that have been written by various authors around the world, and in that process decide for myself what is it that I want to read, and then go back every month buying a fair number of books and trying to absorb myself in the new writings of the 21st century. And I was brought up when I sat for only one examination, which is a class 11 examination, and I never gave up my habit of reading. In fact, I continue to read at the age of 62. So examinations and book reading have nothing to do with each other. So I do believe that what we need to do is to tell our children through our teachers that there is a wealth of knowledge around there that you must access. And that wealth of knowledge will be found not just in your textbook, but far beyond your textbook. And we must move them away from their textbook to what is beyond their textbook, so that they learn not just what is written in the textbook, but far beyond it. That's the purpose of teaching, that's the purpose of books, to allow real discourse to take place. It's real democracy at work, because ultimately books are communication. It's a form of communication, like speaking, except that somebody speaks to you in the written word while you are reading, and you absorb his ideas and perhaps you challenge them as you communicate with your colleagues and your friends. So books are a form of communication that every child must get used to. And the more communicative the child is, the more books that he must read. And this is what we want of our children, to be more communicative, to increase the breadth of their knowledge, to understand the beauty of that knowledge which is at the heart of book reading, to encourage book reading, and not just in one subject, but in a plethora of subjects.